All right, welcome back. So, sometimes we have Mariefiebach here from Feed Your Family Tonight to tell us what to make the family for dinner in a most efficient way, but breakfast is always a big priority for you as well. Marie, we appreciate you being here, especially because you brought cookies.
Yes, today we're making my breakfast cookies, and they're kind of a cross between a cookie and a muffin. They're a real cakey cookie, and they have all sorts of wholesome ingredients. There's peanut butter and bananas, so there's not a lot of refined sugar. I'm going to start right over here. What I did is I mixed a half a cup of butter and 1 cup of peanut butter, and you can use any kind of peanut butter you want. You can use crunchy, you can use creamy, you can use natural, you can use the jiffy stuff. Any kind of peanut butter works. And you just cream those together, and then you're going to add 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar and 1 1/4 cup of mashed banana. Now, anytime you're doing bananas that are mashed, get a brown banana, because that means more of the starches have converted to sugar, and it's going to make a sweeter baked product. Now, I started with the mixer. You want to do that, but then after that, you can mix by hand or mix with the mixer. Again, these are the eggs, the bananas, the butter, and the peanut butter. Oh, I didn't add the eggs, but here's an egg, 1 egg, and a teaspoon of vanilla. And then we're just going to add the dry ingredients. Again, these come together really fast. I was telling Allison earlier, I had this wonderful tool. It is actually used for measuring fats. So if you put your peanut butter or your butter in here, when you measure it, then you can just push it out the top, and you don't have to scrape out a container and miss the edges. Have you ever tried to measure it and it gets all goopy on the inside? So this little container is just a really handy dandy measuring cup. I'm not a big fan of gadgets that only do one thing, but that is one gadget that I use often in my home. Dry ingredients are simple. It's 2 cups of that white whole wheat flour and a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I like to mix that together a little bit before I add the last ingredient, which is 2 cups of oats. Just regular old-fashioned oatmeal, nothing extra fancy, just regular oatmeal. And once you've got that all mixed in, we're going to put it onto a cookie sheet. You want your cookie sheet lined with parchment paper because these will stick, or a Silpat mat, or if you don't have one of those, you can just grease it really well with some extra butter. So I'm going to move over here, and we're going to...
I'm already eating, by the way.
You're already eating, so tell me, what do you think, Shane?
Absolutely love it. And I think you said this is that whole wheat white flour, so that's really key. I know we talked about this before, but if you use just wheat flour, it might end up a little bit too wheaty.
It can. The whole wheat flour has a little bit larger grains of the bran and the fiber, and it can give you a little bit of texture issues, and they also take the moisture differently. So that's why I like that white whole wheat flour. It's just right by the regular flour in your grocery store. This is a number 24 scoop. You can get these on Amazon or at your restaurant supply store. You can just make it into balls with a scoop too. This one holds just under 3 tablespoons. And when you scoop these onto the tray, you want to flatten them a little because they won't flatten in the oven. So you kind of just do a scoop and then just kind of flatten it. You can flatten it with your fingers or just the back of the scoop. This makes about 30 cookies.
Nice.
And I like to bake them and then keep them in the freezer. And you can just thaw them on the counter or thaw them in the microwave, but I like them a little bit frozen. Have you ever had banana bread that's been frozen and there's just something about that it just tastes better? Yeah. Because this is almost like a banana bread because of the bananas in it, and I really like them frozen. When my kids were little, I would keep them in my diaper bag every now and then. And again, it's a very filling cookie. You start eating it and all of a sudden you're like, oh, that filled me up.
Great summertime snack for breakfast or just for snack time whenever. You can find this recipe at feedyourfamilytonight.com, or you can go to her Facebook group as well, Feed Your Family Tonight on Facebook. Lots of great conversation always happening there. Marie, we love having you every Tuesday.
Thank you so much. It's a joy to be here.
We'll take a break. We'll be right back with a final look at the forecast.